Hello and welcome to the third webinar series that Urban Update and All India Institute of Local Self-Government is holding. Now we are in the period of fourth lockdown with relaxations, but there are multiple questions that is confronting us. One is how many lockdowns we can face and we can deal with. Second is the severe economic pressure that we are facing. The third is that whether time has come to learn with to learn to live with virus, because as we understand, as we know, and the research as it is going, that no solution is coming so soon and easily. The problem also is that can we stop our daily lives, our social interactions, our visit to public places? If that is not possible, then what are the possibilities? These are the questions that is that we are confronting today, and this is what we are going to discuss today. We have a very eminent panel which consists of a very senior health practitioner, Dr. Rakesh Yadav. Uh, he's a professor at All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Dr. Umar Rajshekhar from National Institute of Urban Affairs, and two senior journalists who are keeping a very close eye on the developments that is happening. And both are my colleagues. Mr. Ashok Wankhede needs no introduction, and my colleague at Urban Update, Abhishek Pandey. But before I go to my panelists, first a very brief comment from opening comment from Mr. Ashok Wankhede. I'll come back to him again, but a brief comment to begin the discussion. Mr. Ashok.
Good morning, all. Good morning, all of you. I welcome all the panelists and all the listeners to this third edition of our webinar. And on behalf of All India Institute of Local Self-Government and Urban Update, I welcome you all. The subject, you all know that the corona is here to stay, and we have to live with corona now. After the continuous lockdown for more than 2 months, still the cases in India are growing. But at the same time, the Honorable Prime Minister very well said, it is always said, "Jaan hai to jahan hai." लेकिन हमें जान भी चाहिए और जहान भी चाहिए. Now, if you want to have a jahan, then you need to open up. And when you open up with the risk of corona around, then the lifestyle will change. Lot many more things will change in life. And that's what we are facing. The local distancing, taking of care, the mask, wearing of the mask and sanitization. Now, these are the new words which has been introduced in day-to-day lifestyle. And we have to go with it. There are so many advantages and disadvantages to it, but we will have to learn to live. That is the tagline, and there is no option on that. And this is not the corona alone. There may be more viruses to come. We have been seeing the human kind has been seeing a lot of viruses being attacking us, and every time we come out victoriously. But every time we learn to live with them. That is also the fact. Now, when I would like to quote the ex-president of the America, Obama, when he became the president of America and he went to the White House, the first reaction was, I am lucky to have such a great office where my home is. And he gave a list of advantages. How can he have a dinner with the family? He can spend more time with the family being in the office. Now that luxury which the White House resident or the president of the America used to have, most of us are having now. We are all working from home. So working from home is one of the new lifestyle we'll have to take. Less traveling, using maximum uh, facility of the net, and getting connected, communication via net, via video conferencing. Now these are the new things which will really dominate the future of humankind, what I see personally. And there are advantages, disadvantages, both the things. Lot many funny things are happening since it is the initial stage. You could imagine a Supreme Court judge, the Chief Justice of Supreme Court, Mr. Bobde, saying to one of the lawyer who is appearing in his case, you are invisible. I'm not able to see, because there was some video problem, there are some audio problem. Now with these problems, we are going here to stay. When the husband and wife are working, the children are online for their schools, then you need to have more bandwidth in the house. You need to have separate workstation for every individual so they can work via net. So there are new things which will come up. There are so many other things like the rentals, the space for the offices. The rates will go down as many employees are giving away the offices, because they see a lot of people working from home. So we have to live with it. I know there are so many eminent panelists working here. Our DDG Ravi sir was supposed to open the seminar today, but due to some health problem, I think that job has come to me. So again, once again, I welcome all panelists, everybody who are listening to this discussion. And we promise All India Institute that we will come out with some more such various subjects which will really affect your day-to-day life. And we will try to get best of the best panelists and make sure that we can gain out of such webinar. So over to you, Dhananjay.
Thank you so much, Ashokji, for your opening comments. And I will directly go to Dr. Rakesh Yadav now with the question, Sir, has the time come that we learn to live with the virus? As Ashokji also mentioned in his opening remarks, uh, where do from where do we go from here? We are already into the fourth lockdown. We are trying to open up. There are questions. लोग पूछ रहे हैं कि जो महाराष्ट्र में लॉकडाउन है वो दिल्ली में नहीं है, जो दिल्ली में है वो यूपी में नहीं है. तो इतने जो इश्यूज के साथ, इतने वैरायटी के साथ हम अपने फ्यूचर को अब यहाँ से कहाँ देख लेंगे?
जी नमस्कार, and Ashok ji, Pratik, and all the senior persons who are in this webinar as an expert. The first and foremost, I just want to say that yes, it is a pandemic. It is a problem. It is not going to go very soon. It is going to persist. So we have to live with it. So if anybody thinks that we will fight with Corona, we will kill Corona, we will remove Corona, is at present seems to be wrong. I cannot say I wish he should be right. But at present, what expert says and what is going on, it seems that we have to live with Corona. The second important thing is nobody knows much about this virus. Every new day, you are getting one guideline. That yes, you should do this, you should do this. every week you are coming with a mathematical model that yes, in about 15 days back or 1 month back, there was a model that corona will go away after 16th of May, and believe it, now it is peaking at 16th of May. So what virus, because this virus is mutating very rapidly. Somewhere it is very serious, somewhere the virus is just like a flu virus. There's a recent research in Nature which says now the virus has mutated that it will behave like a flu virus somewhere. So exactly nobody knows a lot about this virus. This all are scientific based speculations. So believe it, be ready that we have to live with this virus. Second important thing, how to live with this virus. This virus is just like a common flu because this corona group of virus is 7 viruses which infect men. One is a corona first. Second, when you in Middle East, 2013, a MERS virus, and there's 3 or 4 more strain of coronavirus which are prevalent in human beings and they're just present like a flu. So everybody is getting a flu every year practically. It is more fatal. That is true. It is more fatal than a normal flu virus. So you have to be very vigilant with this virus. The third important thing, the panic which is created in a society, I will not say it is a false panic, but this panic should not be there. The stigma with coronavirus takes with him is not a very good thing. So you have to tell the community that it is not just if a person is having, you have seen that patient who is having, person who is having positive corona is being quarantined at home and what behavior he is receiving from his neighborhood. People even don't come to balcony fearing that if he come from 3rd floor from balcony, they will get a corona. Fear has started that people are washing the milk, the polythene of the milk. They are washing the vegetable, any item which is coming to their home. So the panic which is being created with the coronavirus is not substantiated by any valid scientific ground. It is all the media which is discussing and creating a panic. So please, this is our responsibility that we should bring down this panic in the society, because one thing is certain, that you have to live with this virus at least for 3 years. It will have at least 3 waves. You have to live at least for 3 years. Regarding vaccine, yes, there's a lot of debate regarding vaccine, and I personally hope that we should have a vaccine. But in a scientific community, there's a lot of discussion of the vaccine, whether we are able to find a good vaccine. It is still debatable, but I hope that we will get a vaccine, and it is the only solution. Like you have a smallpox which has been eradicated, polio which has been eradicated, and that all has been eradicated by just vaccination at community. The third important thing, what to do? If you have to live, what to do? Because the panic which has been created at present and the things is just like a lockdown everything. In my view, what government is at present doing is a wise step, that they are opening the lockdowns, they are starting the certain amount of business activity, all activities with a caution. Because now we have to learn with the caution. Don't gather like, and the most important challenge with this country is, recent data suggests that 20% of population in a city is living in slums. This is a data which is given by the people only, that in major cities, minimum 20% population is living in slum. And they are using a common toilet. 80% of Dharavi people are using a common government toilet. So I always say, don't use the word social distancing. Use the word physical distancing. Social, I am socially attached with Dhananjay, so I cannot say, Dhananjay, I am socially distancing from you. No, it's not a correct way. And I have suggested a lot of people in the government that we should use the word physical distancing. It is a physical distancing, that if I and you are sitting, we should sit about 2 meters apart so that it will decrease the transmission. And the third challenge with us, which is coming, the asymptomatic cases. You are harboring virus, but you have no symptoms. So this challenge of asymptomatic carrier in our country, where physical distancing is little bit, you see yesterday when lockdown opens, what happens to DTC buses? Practically in majority of the remote places, there's no physical distancing even of buses. The government employee are going within a meter distances. So these all things, I think, in my view, you have to open the lockdown, but be wise. The lockdown opening should not increase, and it is obviously going to increase. There's no doubt about it. The number of cases will going to increase when you break the lockdown. The lockdown has helped us to increase our infrastructure, to communicate to the general population. But you are right, life and livelihood. If you die of hunger, people will believe I will rather die with 99%, you will be fine. So this is very, very important. So yes, now the time has come that we have to learn to live with corona. There's no doubt about it. And if you destroy the economy, it is again difficult to live. So now the policy of the government and policy of us is to live with the corona. And as our government is now, I think, I'm not a critic of government, I'm a fan of government, but I always say now they have realized their mistake, that giving a complete lockdown is no answer to fight with corona. You have to teach our community that yes, live with the corona, maintain distance, hand hygiene, avoid overcrowding. So now people has started doing this, and if it will inculcate in your practice, you will fight with corona. There's no doubt.
Okay, Dr. Yadav, before I go to Mr. Rajshekhar, my question to you is one small, because you said, okay, we need to learn to live with the virus. What would be your prescription for, say, next 6 months that people should practice?
The first important thing, avoid gathering. Make a physical distancing. Regular hand wash. That's all. And the panic that you take bath 4 times a day, whenever you go outside, come change your clothes, wash your clothes. These all we do not recommend. We just recommend 3 things. Yes, keep on. Why mask is important? Why is mask is not important for you? The mask is important that if you are having corona, if you are infected with corona, you don't transfer corona to others. So there is a highly misconfusion in the community that if you wear a mask, you won't get a corona. Yes, the chances of getting corona will be less. But the most important thing that if you are infected, you are going to spread to a lesser number of people. So yes, the mask is important. The regular washing of your hand is important. Avoid crowding. You can do it. You can do it. Avoid crowding. And the most important thing, if you have a symptom, don't hide yourself. In India, this is the biggest thing. People are hiding their symptoms because they are afraid that I will be quarantined. No neighbor will come to my house. So please, you should be more vigilant in reporting if you have the symptoms. Because if you have the symptoms and if you don't quarantine yourself, you are going to spread this virus for 2 weeks at least. But if you quarantine yourself, if you are away from a community, then it is less likely that you transfer virus even to your family. So these 4 important things which a community has to learn to fight coronavirus.
Very, very important words, Dr. Yadav. I will request you to stay with us.
Okay.
And we'll come back to you again. Now, I'll take these words to Dr. Uma Maheshwaran Rajshekhar, who is Chair Urban Resilience Global Cities Network, National Institute of Urban Affairs. What Dr. Yadav just said, and how we are looking at the future now. We are in the midst of 4th lockdown. We don't know as yet what will happen after 31st. But how do you see Indian cities to deal with this challenge? Because we cannot perpetually could be in a lockdown, and we cannot be, stop social interaction. How do you look at it?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me in this panel to discuss about, our future as we move past the current stages of lockdown, and are looking in terms of how do we live with the new normal, because the life as we know it has changed over the past 4 months. And it's very important for us to realize that whether for good or for bad, it's important for us to keep living differently But moving on ahead with some of the activities which we need to do to keep up with our regular lifestyle. So in that context, I mean, just splitting your question into two parts, what is immediately for cities and city administrations, ULBs and communities to deal with this current situation? But like what Dr. Rakesh mentioned, uh, the pandemic is not going to be contained until unless a cure is going to be identified, and that is not going to happen 6 to 8 months down the line. I mean, that's the most optimistic estimate of the medicine for either the containment or either the treatment comes somewhere in the month of January or February next year. So what do we do in that short-term period, and how do we look at such scenarios and learn from it and help our cities better plan for a long term, So first, addressing the short-term immediate needs. I think what the lockdown has brought about is two things. It has helped city administrators and also the state governments to take a step back and start gearing their preparedness levels to address the number of cases which are coming in from different regions. First of all, our medical systems are not designed or are not prepared to handle the number of cases which were coming into the hospitals on a day-to-day basis. And this lockdown gave that time for cities to take a step back and look at identify quarantine centers, look at some of the cities that have even taken up some of the hotels where they are helping some of the patients quarantine themselves over there because they were not able to do it in their houses because other people may get infected. There is also the other thing in terms of medicines, in terms of supply, in terms of basic need. The lockdown has helped governments prepared to look at the surge. As you can see, when we started with the lockdown, our cases in India were somewhere close to less than 10,000. But with the fourth lockdown and the lockdown also coming to an end, when I'll get more into the lockdown 4.0, but with the lockdown coming to an end, right now we are over 1 lakh cases, plus cases. And the doubling rate has reduced significantly, but still our doubling rate is somewhere between 13 days, So it is very important for us to take note that by the time this lockdown comes to a close, the number of cases may go well beyond, 1 lakh, it may reach around 2 lakh, given the current doubling rate. So more number of people are going to be infected. Some of them are going to be in hospital, but some are also going to be moving around, what they call it as super spreaders. Right now there are a lot of home delivery, and there are a lot of medical professionals who are working in the front line. There are a lot of police and other, government officials who are working in the front line. So these people, they cannot stop interacting with the community. They do interact with people on a day-to-day basis. And it is very important for us to take cognizance of the fact and support these frontline workers who are helping us address this particular situation. Irrespective of the fact what we know about the virus, about the spread and the kind of, what Dr. Rakesh talked about as in terms of one extreme, where people take the physical distancing to or what they call it as social distancing, but I like the word physical distancing more. How people interact with each other has changed. There are people who are very extreme where they have started, isolating families where they have, one or two patients who have been infected by the virus. Even though the patients have been shifted to the hospital, the families have been socially outcast, in the current situation. Communities are very much afraid that they may get it. So they also put a lot of pressure on, laborers, on workers, on people who are much more vulnerable to this particular situation. And there is another extreme. Even educated people, when they move around, they don't maintain the physical distancing. They still, in spite of government norms and regulation, after being in lockdown for a long period of time, the psychological stress, the urge to go and meet friends and families, the urge to go back to work. In that process, they basically neglect the minimum protocol which needs to be followed by individuals. I'm not blaming them, but it is a human tendency for us to oversee some of the minor things where it may be very important for us to contain the pandemic. So in that note, it is very important for people to keep their mind and their physical body in a healthy condition. You know, having being in the house, people are not able to work out, people are not able to interact. That has led them, to come out of the house and also interact with others. I think that is something which we need to take cognizant of and see how things are going to change. There is not one rule which is going to apply to all the places across India, given the diversity, cultural variety, and also the density of urban population, which varies across the country. It's important for us as a community to take individual steps, but also every state and city should come up with their own plan, which is going to be helpful. That said, looking at the long-term plan and what we are doing within the National Institute of Urban Affairs, we have been documenting case studies and sharing it with other cities. Some of these experiences, even though it is quite dire, when we look back into the history, what we know is the cases of Spanish flu, the pandemic which was caused somewhere in the period 1918, 1919, led to the development and improvement in our current sewage and sanitation system. What we see right now, the high separation between water supply lines and the sewage and sanitation line emerged out of this particular pandemic. And post-World War, the formation of UN, how different countries can come together and work towards a common goal. Post several droughts and famine, the FAO was established, and right now the famine itself has been considerably reduced across the world. And if you take the cases from India, the case of Surat post the 1996 plague, the municipal commissioner helped widen the roads. Earlier the city was highly congested, but the plague led to a new age of planning in Surat where roads were widened. And the case of Odisha after the super cyclone in 1999, we had the formation of NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, and the current guidelines which are coming up are coming from NDMA, most of it, and the lockdown 4.0 was also initiated, and the rules and the guidelines came from NDMA directly. Also formation of integrated disease surveillance systems and the protocols which emerged after the Odisha super cyclone, and the recent urban development and planning which are emerging. So we should also look in terms of the long term. This plague can act as a wake-up call for us to look in terms of how we can integrate health departments within urban planning and urban municipal corporation. Apart from few states such as Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, and so on and so forth, majority of the Indian states, the city municipal corporation does not have any control over their health departments, including the hospitals. The public health department has been working isolated with respect to the municipal corporation development and also the urban planning. So probably this particular pandemic act as a wake-up call for us to look in terms of integration. How do we integrate it? Because health is going to be very critical, and as we move forward and working together with doctors and engineers, the earlier discussions, whatever I've attended, the doctors and engineers to be mostly were two different set of individuals with two different set of ideas. But now we need to start looking at how do we integrate both the systems. And what we have realized is 80% of the cases which are coming out in India are coming up from urban centers. So urban planning, urban development, even the economy, where 70% of our economy is being contributed by urban sector. Also pandemics such as this puts a lot of people under economic stress, social stress, and also psychological stress. So how do we start rethinking our urban planning approaches is very critical as we move forward. So there are, of course, the current pandemic is, very dire. It's very important for us to think about situations. How do we tackle it on an immediate short-term basis? But it is also very important. It gives a window of opportunity for us thinkers to take a step back and look at the whole system in a holistic manner and start fixing them as we move forward as a society and community. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mr. Rajshekhar, for your thoughts, and stay with us. We'll come back to you. Now, exactly, I will take your thoughts to my colleague Abhishek Pandey. Abhishek, what Mr. Rajshekhar has just said, that a new concept, a new looking at newly things in urban perspective has to be brought into the focus. What are your thoughts on that?
Hello, everyone. The question that he talked about, Dr. Rajshekhar, talked about Surat and Odisha, how they responded after the super cyclone and the plague. So I just want to, I am just reminded of the quote of Winston Churchill after the Second World War. He said, let's not waste a good crisis. And it is it's a really good crisis means it's a bad crisis. And it is the crisis that has made us think that how should we plan our cities? Are our cities are pandemic resilience? We were talking about urban resilience and how they respond to climate change, disaster. But are they pandemic resilience? And the answer is no. And the most mighty cities of the world, like New York, Mumbai, and other, you talk about any city, they have failed their people because the way we were planning our cities, they were dense definitely because when we were talking about making denser cities, so we were thinking of that economic activity will be consolidated, our civic services will be consolidated, so there is a less expenditure and we can manage our cities very well. But what happened if we talk about this virus, and now it seems that we have to live with this virus for a year or so. So everything is going to change. How we work, how we study, how we travel, how we interact with each other, how we go for our entertainment events. Like you must have seen that the Netflix and all these OTT platforms have come to focus, and people are more watching. They are not going to cinema. Also, that is an option. I'm just going back how the city responded, how the countries responded when this virus hit them. There are, I think, 3 ways that how countries and cities can respond to this, and the people also. The first is that the lockdown. But Sweden was the only country that did not implement the lockdown forcefully. India, on 24th of March, India implemented lockdown, but Sweden was the country. It believed that they gave the instruction to its people that they should follow social distancing, they should follow sanitation standards. But and after some time, and there is one agency in Sweden, that public health agency. Like even the head of that public health agency can have the power more than the prime minister in case of a pandemic, and that is why the head of that public health agency is taking all the decisions in Sweden. So what happened there? They were the head of that institute, Dr. Lager, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Dr. Lager, he said that we will work on herd immunity. But Sweden being a very small nation, very smaller than Delhi population-wise, that is just 10 million people, less or more. So herd immunity is a very, I think Dr. Yadav will be able to explain further about the herd immunity. But what I agree that at least 60 to 70% people of the nation or city has to have that virus for the herd immunity. It's a very dangerous approach, but Sweden followed it. But I think the problem is that when any country is implementing lockdown, anytime they will have to open their economy. They have to open up the economic activities like every country is doing. When there were some few hundred cases in India and very few deaths, we had implemented the complete lockdown. But now, maybe it may sound absurd that now we have 1 lakh cases and almost 4,000 people dead, and we are opening up the economy. So it is like that. When you open up the economy, open up the economy, you have already flattened the curve, but now the second wave comes in. What do? So there is no panacea available as of now. This is the perfect way. So either you are going Sweden way by not locking up your people and trusting people that they will follow. But even in Sweden, the recent hike in cases has underlined the importance of the cutting it down. And the second thing is, when you learn from the past mistakes how this viruses. But 1918, the Spanish flu, that was one of the worst hit pandemic in the world. So 1918 world and 2020 is very different. The people, cities, everything is changed. But I want to just highlight one point. If India has responded well in comparison to other countries. So, but India has not done something exemplary in comparison to other countries like Japan, Korea, or any other country they have done. There is one very interesting interesting assumption, because everyone is doing research and finding out how these countries are responding. There is very interesting assumption. I am writing an article in the next issue on this, that Indian villages. Hello. Indian villages have seen, because if you see, 34% people in India live in cities, and I will just give you data. I have just researched of top 10 countries affected by the virus. The United States of America with almost 15 lakh cases, 1.5 million cases. Number of deaths 93,800. This is the data of yesterday. Recovered cases per million 4,70,000. 4,764, and deaths per million is 283. I will focus on this point. Deaths per million 283, and urbanization percentage is 82. Russia, deaths per million is 20. America is 283. This is 20, just 20, and urbanization percentage 84. Spain, the third largest worst affected. It is Spain. It is 594. It is more than even the USA. Urbanization percentage is 80. Brazil, urbanization percent 87, and deaths per million is 85. And now I will come to India, and then all these countries like UK, Italy, France, Germany, Turkey, Iran, all in the same, from 50 to 600, almost deaths per million. And it is very interesting to note that India's data is just 2.5, 500 and 2.5. So if you, and urbanization percentage of India is 34. It is almost half of all these countries. So if you see that what India has done so fantastically well, it is our villages those saved India. In 2008, what saved us from the global recession, it was the India's informal economy that saved us from the recession. Now this time, India's villages. So I'm not saying the urbanization is good or bad, because urbanization is definitely very important for countries when they are talking about reaching 5 trillion economy. So urbanization is necessary, no doubt about it. But how we go about urbanization, this needs very serious rethink. How we are going to plan our cities, they should be pandemic resilient, because this is not the first and last virus. Hopefully not, but we should always think about the worst case scenario. So we should focus on making our cities pandemic resilient. And also when we talk about economy, then our cities definitely and villages like the Prime Minister has already said that we are making India self-reliant. So our villages first should become self-reliant, and the people those are leaving their villages and coming to cities for for only for earning their food. If they are coming for aspiration, very good. If they are coming for education, very good. But if they are coming to cities for earning their food, two meals, then I think we are in a very bad shape. And we should look at urbanization with a different lens. And uh, uh, like uh, many other countries have already opened up. China has even opened the Disneyland very first. So we have to focus on our supply chains, and we cannot China, like everyone is now aware that China is not a reliable supplier. When we were expecting PPE kits or masks, they were short. They were short of supply in many countries. So India has to become self-reliant, especially on the essential things like medical supplies, ventilators. So the life is going to change, not only of the citizens, also of the urban planners, how they are going to look at cities, also of the government, how they are going to make their countries self-reliant. So everything is going to change, but I think that things will improve in some time when the vaccine is out. People will start, the hugs and kisses will be back. That is the hope. Thank you, Dhananjay.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you so much. I will take the points that you raised to Dr. Rakesh Yadav. Dr. Yadav, is Dr. Yadav line with us?
I think he's taking some time. We can move to our next panelist.
Okay. So let me go back to Mr. Ashok Wankhede. Mr. Wankhede, what is the thought process that you are seeing within the establishment? Now, is it thinking that people should learn to live with the virus and that we need to open up completely, or there is still some kind of mental block which way to go forward to?
I think there is a mental block with everybody, because this is for the first time the country is facing. So the entire world is facing this thing for the first time. So we are doing on a trial and error method. I completely agree with Mr. Yadav, what Dr. Yadav has said. And that is what we should take from this webinar today, is that it is not the social distancing, it's the physical distancing. Once you start accepting the norms of the physical distancing, the social distancing, the word has to go off. The social distancing is one thing which really creates a panic, and that's what we have seen. A single person who turns to be a positive in the society, enter the locality, boycotts him. It should not be boycotting, it should be physical distancing from him. That one thing very well said. And what other observation I have seen, the Abhishek, our colleague, has said, exactly what I have feel. I am of the same opinion that in India we are still doing better because of our villages. That doesn't mean that we should not go for urbanization, but urbanization in a planned way. Bombay, how it has been planned. Bombay, it is not the coronavirus. The Bombay is in trouble. Every rainy season, you find Bombay is in trouble. Bombay is underwater. These are the problems that Bombay has been developed unplanned, totally unplanned. And the slum areas in whichever cities you find, Ahmedabad you find more slums, Surat, Plain, Gujarat, you have got a lot of slums, Maharashtra, Bombay, Pune, Nashik also you have a lot of slums. These are the areas you find, these are the hotspots in India as far as the coronavirus is concerned. But when you talk of Goa, when you talk of Kerala, you hardly have a slum population there. So we need to see when we do urbanization, when people go for urbanization or urbanization happens, how to address these slum areas. This has to be taken care. You need employees, you need human resource, you need laborers for the your urban cities. But in that, case, how they have to be settled. The present government has come out with the 20 lakh crore package. The finance minister has categorically underlined that they are trying to get the rental space available for the laborers to come. But this is again in a planning stage. This should have been earlier. We have fought it better. And the rest thing, other thing, what I personally feel, I think Mr. Dr. Yadav will be able to explain it well. It is all about immunity. If your body is immune, if his body knows how to fight, there are every day our body is being attacked by a number of viruses. But somewhere we fail. Most of the places our body fights with the virus. Now in this case also, 20% of the people are asymptomatic. That they have a carrier of the virus. That is what the 80% of the people that the Secretary Health said. Now, in that case, they have a virus, but they don't have symptoms. That means, is their body immune to it? They are merely carrier. So we have to see that how well we can immune ourselves. In villages, most of the places, what I have seen, what people say, everybody is talking about immunity. If they talk and you go for a seasonal vegetable, you go for a seasonal fruit, you take ample sunlight, you walk, you do exercise. I think villages, they don't do this all. It is already, that is a part of their life. Every day the farmers go to the farm, they walk down, they don't take the car to the farms. Most of the villages still, they walk on this thing. Early morning they get up. So their lifestyle is entirely different, which really creates good immunity in the body. Even the state like Goa and Kerala, what I have been observing, they have less numbers because they are more close to the nature. And most of the cities which have a new culture, or the new lifestyle culture, has really caved in when the corona attack. Indore, may it be the Mumbai, Delhi, Ahmedabad, all these cities. Some cities in Tamil Nadu also, you find the same problem. Now, these things have to be taken care of. Now, this has given an opportunity to really rethink on our urban planning. It has given an opportunity for us to rethink on our lifestyle, rethink on our eating habit, food habit. We really need to work on that. If we work on that, there will be so many. This is not the last virus, and I am not confident that the virus will not attack. There will be many more viruses. When Spanish flu came to India, it was in Europe. One ship lands in Mumbai. It gets into Mumbai, and the train took it from Mumbai to the entire India. That is what is happening with the corona also. It came from outside. It came to Kerala. Now Kerala is safe, but the entire India is bleeding. So that we need to work out. As far as the lockdown is concerned, I think it is the step government has taken. Government is also doing it for the first time. It was not a regular feature for India. So they were trying to organize themselves. Now I think in that lockdown period, really the government got a chance to work on the health facilities, work on so many other logistics, which really we find in rest of the packages the government is announcing. But at the same time, we need to look what Mr. Narayan Murthy said. If the lockdown continues, people will die more of hunger than the corona. So in that case, we need to open up. We need to open up economy, but with caution. Now, new way of life, new lifestyle. We have to adopt all those things. What Dr. Yadav has said, we need to really propagate what to do and what not to do. The corona has created so much of confusion and so much of fear that people do all sort of nonsense which really they are not supposed to do. Wearing a mask, okay, it is mask will not get you infected, but it will uh, make you not infect others. That has to be taken care of. Then what he's talking of taking bath and washing vegetables, this really we need to get rid of this thing. And we have to make sure that corona is here to stay. If it stays with it, it is going to change it is regularly mutating. So we can't have one vaccine and get rid of it. In India also, you find 10 types of corona at different places. So we need to live with it. And in that case, we need to organize ourselves. Now, social distancing, you talk of new culture of working from home. That is a big thing has come. Now, what new things are coming up? We need to really address so many other new things. There is a global app in United States which really is doing some. They are providing some new services. Like in America, people are working from home. Now they really need to have a space for themselves. If you are working, your wife is working, your children are studying, you are in the same home. So for some time you really enjoy it, but after time it becomes laborious because you are sitting in the same. You need to have your own space. So like for that, the global app provides you a place per hour basis. So you can hire the room and be of your own alone. Get your some own special space, special time for some time. For 2 hours, you hire a space, and then again you go back to your home. Now these new services have come up. Now these services have come up because of the corona. Now there are so many other things, new opportunities will come. So you have to look into a positive side of it rather than negative side of it. And hats off to thanks to Dr. Yadav. He has given us a new word called physical distancing, not social distancing. Over to you, Dhananjay.
Thank you, Abhishek ji, Ashok ji. Now, do we have Dr. Rakesh Yadav with us now?
I think there is some technical issues and Dr. Yadav have left the conversation. We should move forward.
Okay, just try and fix that link. Meanwhile, I'll go to Mr. Rajshekhar.
Yes, Dr.
I can-
Rakesh Yadav has joined again.
Yeah,
Hello. Hello. Morning. Hello.
Yeah,
I can hear Mr. Rakesh Yadav's voice.
Yes, yes. Hello. Am I?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Now, after listening to Abhishek and Ashok ji, my question to you is
Ji.
that was there a possibility to behave in a fashion or the route that Taiwan and Sweden took, or we had no option but to go for this lockdown? And second question to you is that if we need to learn to live with the virus, how soon you are looking at a vaccine? From September to a year and a half. What are your thoughts on that?
The first thing is, in my view, it's very difficult to make vaccine against coronavirus. This is my personal view, but I wish there should be a vaccine. Because there's a lot of mutation which is going on, and the basic vaccine is on his spike, and spike has 3 mutations at present. So in my view, it will be difficult. If we get it as a God's gifts, and it will be very useful. Second important thing, yes, I always believe lockdown is not an answer. Lockdown is a temporary solution, and now we have to find some way so that there should be only a restricted lockdown. It should not be generalized. It should be restricted to area where there is a high corona numbers, but there cannot be a global lockdown. There's a recent Duke University epidemiologist suggestion that he have given a model that 30 days working and 50 days lockdown. He has proposed that this should be probably the near future, that work for 30 days to decrease. This is his hypothesis. I think in Duke University, Dr. Mac Labze. So there are a lot of things which are coming, but as far as my views are concerned, lockdown is not a permanent solution. It is not.
Dr. Rakesh Yadav, thank you so much for your time. I will not take much of your time now. I know you have to attend to patients and all. So thank you so much. Mr. Rajshekhar, let me bring this to you in that case. Lockdown is not a solution. We all understand now. We heard from Dr. Yadav, we heard from Abhishek, we heard from Mr. Ashok Wankhede, that how the city could have in India can now will change, or we will just continue with how it is.
In this sense, can you come back on your question, please?
Yeah, Rajshekhar, Mr. Rajshekhar, what I was saying was, we heard Dr. Rakesh Yadav, we heard Abhishek, we heard Mr. Ashok Wankhede. How are we looking at the situation now? It's true that cities cannot behave as they used to, but in that case, how they should behave in the future? And the lockdown is not a solution.
Of course, lockdown is not a permanent solution. Like, many of the current work with respect to finding a cure for the virus, which is going to take time. And so we can't have a country shut down for the next 1 year. So that is not a solution. But definitely people have to start looking at things differently and start going about their daily routine, but in a much more informed and in a much more sensitive manner than what they used to do before. Of course, there are several issues, as we speak, why that 1 lakh cases in India is a very crucial number, because our entire health system across the country, including the urban system, has been designed for one, public hospital per 10,000 population. And when you look at the current number of cases, pretty much across the country, including the private hospital, the entire health system is stressed. So when it goes from 1 to 2 lakh, so the things are going to be much more severe. So what we need to do as we move forward, of course, companies and industry should go about their business as usual, but with extra care. People testing is more important. People should start using Arogya Setu app so we can identify whom they are being in contact with, so that if we need to do a contact tracing, if we need to isolate a few employees, or if we need to identify certain employees who are coming from vulnerable communities or risk-prone areas, we can do that. So use of Arogya Setu app is going to help. Even in China, that's what they have been doing. They have, these codes which are outside most of the buildings, even government buildings and public buildings. So when you scan it, you get to know the number of infected patients, you get to know your, vulnerability to it. And then the code then decides whether you can go in or you cannot. So something like that needs to be brought in for India, and the technology has developed considerably. So we need to make use of that. I'm not saying don't work at all. I think work should continue. I think working from home is a good option, but it applies to only certain sectors. Certain sectors like IT, certain sectors where working from home is possible. But if you're in the construction industry, working from home is not really going to work out. People have to go there, but there has to be regular testing. People have to be provided basic safety. People have to be provided certain instructions. So we need to start thinking about the new norm of working. While the government can come up with regulations at the national level, at the state level, and also at the city level, individual corporations, individual businesses should start planning on their own in a sensible manner, depending upon the way people work within their offices, the size of their offices, the social structure of their employees who are coming in, and the nature of the business they deal with. How much amount of interaction they can avoid, how much amount of innovation they can bring in terms of new area. And that's what we need to start doing, and that requires planning. Probably, hopefully, people who are been in this particular lockdown for the last 3 months, I hope they have got sufficient time to plan for their businesses. So when the lockdown 4.0 comes to an end, or even when the lockdown 4.0 is opening up, I think this is the right time to test some of these new way of working within businesses as we move forward.
Okay, fine. So we all seem to agree that yes, a permanent lockdown is not possible. We need to learn to live with the virus. As Dr. Rakesh Yadav said, that we are not going to have a vaccine very soon. In that case, Abhishek, what is your take on how, and just not cities, also even in the hinterlands, how the life is going to change if we need to learn to live with the virus?
Life is definitely, but when people are not going out, people are not attending music concerts, sporting events, because human is a social animal. So we like to meet people, interact with them. So this is going to change. But I think the situation will be better in villages, far better than cities, because the virus in many places it has not reached to those hinterlands that you spoke about. My point is one point when we are tracing when we are tracing the virus, the contact tracing is very important. That South Korea has done very well. America is also doing testing, but the tracing of the positive cases very important. But the question of again that comes of data sharing and is it safe with the government or not? So the Japan has very good concept. I was listening to yesterday the lecture of one Harvard University professor on TED. So she was explaining that Japan has done very excellent work in this area. That so if because in Singapore, China, and in South Korea, the data is generalized. But in the Japan is the only country as of now they have gone for peer-to-peer sharing. You suppose you are taking your phone out and going out, so you will be told your data will be encrypted, and then it will be peer-to-peer sharing. It will not be the centralized data. So the people are not minding that it's okay. When it comes to life and death, then definitely people anywhere, whether in USA or in India, people will not mind sharing their data. But Japan has done this innovative thing, and similarly in other fields also. When we are going to offices, we should come with the innovative ways of working. Definitely, Zoom and other applications have changed the way we have meetings, the way we have our conferences like this one now we are having. So this is going to change, but this is going to impact our mental health. And like doctors also said that we have to think how we can, because Satya Nadella also said, if he yesterday or day before yesterday, he said that work from home is going to impact our mental health. It is not the solution. However, Team Twitter has said it work from home forever, but it is not the permanent solution. And people, even like in our offices, when we see the people, those were asking for work from home, they are saying now it's enough. Now I want to come to office. So, so we have to think about mental health, because that is which we not go into depression. We are definitely looking at the Great Depression of economy, but our mental health should be solved.
Okay, for the final and closing comments, I will go to Ashok ji.
Thank you, Dhananjay. It was really nice listening to all. And every coin has two sides. So working from home, you have a lot of advantages, and there are a lot of disadvantages as well. What exactly the our colleague said, Abhishek said. But we have to look for some solution. We can't just say it is not possible. We need to work. We need to adopt new things. Even working from the offices, we started, and now working from home also. We need to organize houses in that way. We have to make sure if the husband and wife are working, then we need to make sure that there are two terminals, two different rooms where they don't disturb each other. But then we have to take care also. Now also a lot of funny things are happening when people are on uh, Zoom, or people are on various chat platforms. You see all of a sudden somebody walking behind you, or I was live on one of the channel yesterday, and immediately my wife started a mixie, and that the go sound makes it was broadcasted all over. In the break, then the anchor told me कि साहब जरा मैडम को बताना कि वो मिक्सी चालू नहीं करे. So you have to make sure that your entire uh, house kitchen work is not there when you are online. So I have to tell my wife that this is the time I will be online on this channel, and this is the time I will be online on this webinar. So please make sure that you don't do anything in the kitchen and don't make sound. So these are the new areas. We will start learning like that. That is what I said. The Chief Justice of Supreme Court also had a lot of problems in talking to the judges. Audio was visible. The audio was there, but video was not there. So the lawyer who was pleading, the Chief Justice said, "अरे आप तो अदृश्य आत्मा हो गए हो. आप की आवाज सुन रहा हूँ, दिख नहीं रहे हो." So these are the things. One of the lawyer was addressing the judge when he was sitting in a car. So these are the new areas. These are the new funny things will happen. Lot many things are happening. There are problems. Those who are working at home, there are people who are claiming कि घर बैठ के काम करते हैं तो पत्नी बहुत काम करवाती है. सब्जी काटते काटते आपको ऑफिस काम करना पड़ता है. There are also certain things. So these funny things will happen, but we will have to learn with it. And again, I think Mr. Yadav is not here, but I really wanted to learn how to really develop your immunity. Immunity, if you develop, you can really fight with any virus. Virus, you can fight only with immunity. And for that, you need to change your lifestyle, whether you are into office, whether you are at home. So new things will come. Not many things we will have to adopt. You cannot grumble at the government. We should start shouting and grumbling at the government. Government is not doing. Government had done this. Government had done that. It's our government. We need to all everybody has to put in efforts. The urban developers, as we are into urban development, we really need to work again on various issues, how we can address. So like such things, corona, like pandemics will not affect badly in days to come or years to come. We need to rethink on many things. So thank you very much, all panelists, everybody who attended this webinar, and thanks Dhananjay for an excellent coordination. Thanks a lot. Let me thank you on behalf of All India Institute of Local Self-Government, and we really promise that the team Urban Update will come out with a new subject with good panelists on this present struggle which the nation is looking at. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashokji, for your kind words, and I will take a leaf from what you said about your household and your personal story, and would rather put it in the domain of the public. That is the way we are going to have to live with. In our personal life, in our social life, in our professional life, and in public spaces, that is how we will have to behave now. The point is that if we are looking at a situation which is not going to get over in, say, next 1 year or 2 year, maximum it can go up to decades, which the experts are predicting. In that case, there is no other alternative but to change our behavior pattern, the way we operate, and the way we act. I think that is the mantra that we are getting from all the speakers that we had today in the meeting. Dr. Rakesh Yadav, Mr. Rajshekhar, Mr. Ashok Wankhede, and Abhishek. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining us in this webinar.